So far this week in science, we have been learning about heat, or thermal energy. I have colored your vocabulary word list with green to show the words that we have already talked about this week. I want you to pause the video and review these words to see if you know what these words mean without looking at anything else. Remember, your vocabulary test will be Friday, so we need to know these words. Pause the video now and quiz yourself. Do you know what these words in green mean? Heat energy, or thermal energy, is the way that we measure heat in an object. Friction is when two things are rubbing together, which is a heat source. Burning is also a heat source. It's when you can actually catch things on fire to burn them. Heat source is where the heat is coming from. Heat can come from friction, heat can come from burning, heat can come from electricity, and heat can also come sometimes from mixing things. We'll talk more about that later. Celsius and Fahrenheit are two vocabulary words that go together. Fahrenheit is the way that we measure temperatures in the United States. It's a temperature scale. Celsius is also a temperature scale, but it's used more widely across the world, not so much in the United States. Increase means to make it go up or higher. You can increase temperature by placing something in an oven. Decrease starts with a D and means down. Decrease, down. Decrease means to move the temperature down. You can decrease temperature by placing it near ice or in a freezer. A thermometer is a tool that we use to measure thermal energy of an object, or another way of saying that is to measure the temperature of an object. Today, we are going to learn about conductors and insulators. Conductors and insulators play a lot of important roles in our life, and today we're going to think about and talk about those different roles that they play. We're going to watch a quick video that explains some of these roles that conductors and insulators play. Pay close attention to what they say about a conductor and what they say about insulators.
Jeff's family is having a nice time at the park. It is indeed a good day to have a picnic. His dad brings a grill and starts to barbecue chicken on the grill. Jeff runs to his dad to see if the barbecues are already done. He holds a metal skewer but immediately lets go because it is too hot. His dad uses oven gloves to hold the metal skewers without feeling the heat and shows Jeff the barbecues. The metal skewers are examples of materials that allow heat to flow. These materials are called heat conductors.
Did you catch your first definition? Heat conductors are materials that allow heat to flow in and out of them easily. Is there anything else you can think of that gets really hot, really quickly, or easily? I bet the thing that you were thinking of probably is made of metal. We also know that glass items, if you place a glass item in your microwave, you'll notice that it gets very hot very easily. So glass is also a really great conductor. Conductors are items or materials that allow heat to pass through them easily. Things that get hot quick.
Metals are good conductors of heat. The oven gloves do not allow heat flow to take place. These materials are called heat insulators.
Did you catch your second definition? Heat insulators are the opposite of conductors. These do not allow heat to go in and out. These are materials that you may want to use if you're trying not to burn yourself or if you want to keep heat in an item. When might you want to keep the heat in? When would you want something to stay hot? The first thing I think about is food. If I want my food to stay warm, I might wrap it up in a towel, like people do with biscuits. If I want my body to stay warm, I might wrap it in a blanket or put a jacket on. Insulators do not let heat leave or come in. Insulators don't let heat in or out.
The non-metallic oven gloves are good heat insulators. Heat conductors are important in our daily lives. Cooking pans are made of metal to conduct heat easily and help cook the food faster. The base of the iron is made of metal so that clothes can be ironed quickly. The mercury inside the thermometer expands and contracts rapidly with slight changes in temperature. Heat insulators also play important roles in our daily lives. The walls of an icebox are made of polystyrene to maintain the coolness inside the box.
Coolers can keep things cold by not letting heat in. When heat doesn't get in, then the ice can stay nice and cold. So plastic, in this case, is a great heat insulator. Styrofoam is also something they use to make coolers out of. Styrofoam is a great insulator. You can also think about this because a lot of times at fast food restaurants, we get our cups in a styrofoam cup, our drinks in a styrofoam cup. That's because they want the cold drinks to stay cold and the hot drinks to stay hot. Using a good insulator will keep things at the same temperature
and prevent heat from entering the box. The handles of cooking utensils are made of wood or plastic so that they will not get too hot, allowing us to hold the utensils without getting burned. Woolen clothes and blankets trap a layer of air. The wool and air prevent heat loss from our body, thus keeping our body warm.
Let's take a look at your practice slides for today. You have a lot of practice slides to complete today. There are 17 slides. I wanted to point out that there are several slides in between that have some great reading to help you complete these assignments. So make sure that you are looking at every single slide along the way. When you finish, you have finished the entire slide presentation, so you can make sure that you turn it in so that I can see that you are done. Go ahead and get started.